On my first stop of the day, I happened to follow a random peacock and found the whole flock. I do love peacocks. I grew up seeing flocks of them around Southern California, and they're just beautiful birds, and I just had to take a minute to record this. This is actually really the start of what kicked off my adventure. I was in town for business, but I unexpectedly had the pleasure of seeing all of these peacocks lounging by the pool and roosting around it. It has been cold enough. There's not going to be any people disturbing them, so they had the pool all to themselves. By the way, is it a flock? Is it a flock of peacocks, or is there another word? You tell me.
Orlando is a real treat on foot. It's a really beautiful combination of old and new, but only if you look really closely. Right across the street from there are these brand new, well, at least they got paint on them and reconstruction, but I think they're brand new townhomes and houses and such, much newer than this building here. Stained glass windows. Actually haven't got up to it yet, but we're in the Lake Eola district, but I don't know if it's still functioning as a church, but it's definitely a church. Look at that beautiful red door. Yeah, here we go. This is Trinity Evangelical Lutheran Church. Three services a Sunday. And it is a beautiful building on the corner of Livingston and Ruth. Well, carved in stone is 1926. So knowing nothing, having done no research, just stopping on my way through, I'd say that this building was consecrated in 1926. And of course, again, looking just across the street, you've got some beautiful new condo apartment. Oh, there's a little golf cart taxi, Ride DTL. It's the first time I've seen one of those, actually. I've seen them parked, or I've seen them used like during basketball games and stuff, but never seen one riding around during the day. I just got stopped by a lady passing by who said, "Hey," and I turned and she said, "Oh, I mistook you for somebody I know, my child's father. You have the same beard." So they're doppelgangers of me everywhere. I've had a few comparisons in my life, but never a random lady's baby daddy. That one's the first. Of course, no visit to Orlando could be complete without a visit to Kevin R. Tyjeski Park, which, I mean, it should be the Kevin Planter, really, not really a park at all. I just saw that lady again circling the block picking somebody up, and she waved and smiled at me. I think she's got a type. It's safe to say. Sperry Fountain sits at one of the entrances to Lake Eola Park in downtown Orlando. It's a replica of a fountain donated in 1913 by Mayor Sperry, one of the founding, pioneering members of the area out here, who died 3 years later while still in office as mayor. He actually had this fountain designed in 1913 and put here, and they replicated it because I guess the one from 1913 isn't still around. Maybe it's in a museum, I'm not sure. I haven't seen the original, but the plaque says that this one is a replica. One of the cool things about Lake Eola is that we can walk under ancient trees while listening to smooth jazz being piped in over our heads as we walk through these ancient groves. I'm not always a fan of big, gnarled, tangled trees, but something about these couple of trees on the outskirts are just very pretty to look at. Here's something you don't see every day. It looks like the fountain is getting a little bit of maintenance. It's got a crew from the SS Swantoon over there. Open it up like a flying saucer. Perhaps the famous fountain landed here many years ago and is actually the product of alien life. Plumber's crack. Here's one of the famous swans. A lot of the birds have been getting sick lately. Little swan friend. Had to treat a lot of them. Apparently avian flu has been going around. But these are some of the nicest swans I've ever met. Several of them have passed away recently in the news here, but these swans are actually pretty nice. As long as you're not grabbing them or trying to bother them, they're really not aggressive. I'm just trying to get a sampling of some of the sights and sounds around this part of Orlando, which I really like quite a bit. Seasonally, Lake Eola Park decorates for Christmas. We didn't get to go this year. We were unfortunately busy with a lot of other stuff, and we just didn't get out here to do it. But it's a beautiful area, lots of nice scenery. At night when all the lights are really, really lit up, looks great. There's a lot of statues, a lot of art, a lot of memorial things, and actually, speaking of memorials, there's a chunk of stone with a plaque in it. Let's take a look. Here's the rock and here's the plaque. Lest we forget. This is the Daughters of the American Revolution put this here in memory of the Orange County boys who gave their lives in the World War. Erected by the Orlando chapter, Daughters of the American Revolution, aided by the patriotic citizens of Orange County, 1924. So this is a plaque dedicated to the Orange County citizens who lost their lives in the Great War, World War I. You can find all kinds of gems and memorial markers like this that you wouldn't even think would be here. Just keep your eyes open and don't forget, read every plaque. Speaking of reading every plaque, oh look, another wild looking duck bird. And if you're curious what kinds of ducks and birds live here, tons of them. There's a whole flock of pigeons just took off. But I just saw a couple of these earlier. Whooper swan, Australian black swan, trumpeter swan, royal mute swan, blackneck swan. So obviously we've got a whole host of birds that call this park home year round. Oh, we got some baby ducks. We'll keep a respectful distance and zoom in. Aren't they adorable? Look at them babies. Everybody loves baby ducks. Access to this gazebo has been cut off for some time. Some sort of safety concerns. Not sure what those concerns are, but It is quite a lovely gazebo. Before we leave the Lake Eola Park vicinity, I just wanted to highlight this building here, 215 North Eola Drive. It's actually one of the filming locations for Ernest Saves Christmas. If you're into that sort of thing, Ernest disguised as an old lady climbing up and down stairs right here. Jim Varney walked these hollowed Ernest steps. So if you care about that, if that's a pilgrimage you'd like to make, if you're ever in Orlando, well, you can knock out two birds, pardon the expression, with one stone. You can visit an Ernest location and go see some swans.
This particular haunted mansion-esque house, discovered quite a while ago while looking for a parking space, which is almost impossible. It was for sale back then, and honestly, I would love nothing better than to fix up an old house like this, but I think the amount of money that would take is probably best left to the law firm that purchased it.
In closing, downtown Orlando is a mix of old and new. Things being fixed up, things being torn down, high rises, low rises. It's a mishmash of all things collecting and converging on each other. It's a very interesting place to just take a walk, kind of contemplate what's going on around you. Yeah, downtown Orlando. It is a cool place, I will admit. I'm not a Floridian at heart, but it is growing on me. Much like the characters in the book, Dark They Were and Golden Eyed by Ray Bradbury in 1949, I've landed in a strange and alien world and, well, starting to change myself, I think. Starting to get used to it. My family, you know, they adapted to it. They became Martians right away. It's just taken me a while. Still miss the comforts of home, what little comforts did exist. Familiarity, the nostalgia. But on a day like today, just immersing myself in local things and places, my appreciation kind of grows for many things about Central Florida. So keep joining me on my adventure, becoming a little bit more Martian, a little bit more Floridian, discovering all the nooks and crannies and little spaces in my new home that it took me a lifetime to discover in my old. Anyway, hope you had a good time following me around a small portion of the city of Orlando. If you made it this far, thank you. You get a thumbs up. Boop. Wait for the camera. There you go. Do you ever just go for a walk in the woods? Take time, smell the flowers. Look at the little things. Little things like this really weird spongy moss. It is a sponge. Bouncy, squishy, patchy.